Hi, my name is Madeline, and I talk about random things every Tuesday. Today I'm going to be sharing behind the scenes of my first big cosplay as Annie Cresta from the Hunger Games. I am a longtime Finnick stan. I think he's the perfect man, and this year I am the same age that Finnick was in Catching Fire, which has really given me kind of like a new perspective on the whole thing. And I've always just been intrigued by Annie. She's kind of a background character. She's just like Finnick's beloved. Like we don't really know much about her. We just know that Finnick's like in love with her. We know she won by swimming. We know that she's had some PTSD issues since she won her Hunger Games. But honestly, she just kind of stays in the background. And I've always felt like she deserves to have her story told. I've also just felt like the movies did her dirty. Like, the movies did her dirty, not how I pictured her at all. So I decided I was going to do an Annie Cresta cosplay. What was step one for someone who's never done a cosplay before? Find some quotes. So I went through the books, I pulled out a bunch of quotes, and then I started thinking, okay, like, let's isolate one scene. And when I think Annie Cresta, honestly, I think of her in Finnick's wedding. So I was like, yes, we have to do the wedding. So the very first thing I knew I wanted to do was her wedding dress. And I've never sewed a thing in my life. I don't even know how to sew. But I was like, we have to make this dress. Because I was shopping online and I just wasn't seeing anything like it. And the deal with this dress is that it needs to look like something that Annie chose to borrow from Katniss and Cinna made for Katniss. So number one, it needs to look like something Cinna would make for Katniss, which means it needs to be inspired by the Capitol, but also look like Katniss and also look like Cinna. But Annie's the one who chose it, so it also has to look like Annie, and it also has to look like a wedding dress. Those are kind of our initial parameters. The second parameters is that I knew I wanted it to look kind of nautical, because Annie is from District 4, which is the fishing district. So I knew I wanted it to be water inspired. Now, when I think of the Capitol, in a weird way, I almost think of the 80s, kind of, because it's just kind of like garish, you know? So I'm automatically thinking, okay, I think this needs to be kind of like 80s prom dress meets like chic, like elegance. Because to me, Annie wouldn't wear something that's like over the top gaudy, you know what I mean? Like, it has to have some kind of simplicity to it. It also has to be cute because Cinna designed it, you know what I mean? The one thing that it specifically says in the book is that it's green silk. So I went on Amazon, I got 2 green silk pillowcases to use as fabric. From there, I told my mom kind of what we wanted to do, and we made this whole thing with Stitch Fix, which, if you don't know what that is, you get a material, and then you put this like Stitch Fix tape on it, you put the other material, you get it wet, you iron it, and then it like sticks together. We made this entire dress like that, you guys. Like, that's crazy by itself. I'd say it took us about 8 to 10 hours spread over the course of a week. So we made the body, kind of think potato sack, except we took it out a little bit at the hips. Then we made detachable sleeves that I wanted to cut about right here because I love a 3/4 length sleeve. And then we made a puff sleeve after we watched a YouTube video on how to make a puff sleeve. Puff sleeve over here. And then I wanted a ruffle at the bottom because to me that was the sense of like motion of the ocean. Like, it kind of gave it a fluid look, and I really wanted to add that. And then I made a matching headband that kind of gives me like bridal energy. I'm going to show a picture of the dress right here. I'm really proud of how it turned out, considering me and my mom are literal new beginners. And I thought the photos from the shoot came out really cute too, so here are some pictures from the shoot. There's a line in the book about how Finnick and Annie's wedding, even though it's in District 13, has a lot of elements from District 4. So there is kind of this ocean theme. At one point she's wearing a veil made out of grass that's been woven together to look like a fishnet. And so I bought a green fishnet to kind of do that look. And I I wore a ring that had a 4 on it for District 4. I did buy some like ocean themed embroidery patches to put on the dress, but I just could not figure out where they go, so that is one like inconsistency with the book. Another thing is they said a fiddler who made it out of District 12 ended up playing music for the ceremony, and I just thought that was so beautiful because here they are in a foreign place and they have touches of District 12 and District 4 and like all these districts are mingling, and it's just like beautiful to have this like piece of joy amongst like all this sadness and like war. Something else that I really wanted to do was make the wedding cake, because something that's so sweet about the wedding cake is like PETA is the one who frosted it, and Katniss can tell just by looking at it. Like she'd recognize PETA's handiwork a mile away, and it's also like, wow, PETA, he's dealing with so much, but like what he is able to do is decorate this cake for Finnick and Annie, and like what a gesture, you know? So I really wanted to make that cake. I wanted it to be really tall, so I tried to make like small cakes out of aluminum foil, which made the cake really wobbly, but I was like, we're just gonna persevere, I'm not wasting this cake. So I learned how to do different like frosting tips, and I knew I wanted a starfish. In the book it does say that there's supposed to be seals and sailboats on the cake, but I don't know how to do a seal, and I could not figure out a place to buy like a cheap sailboat to put on it. So I wasn't able to do those two, but I was able to do the starfish, and I was able to do the sea flowers and the seagrass, and I'm really, really proud of how it turned out. Here's some pictures. And I also put it next to the apple cider because in the book it says that's how they toasted. And honestly, I'm just like really, really proud of how it turned out. I've never done cosplay before, and this project took like literally months of both brainstorming and thinking about it, but then also like execution and pictures and captions and editing and posts. Like so much work goes into cosplay that I was not aware of. And I am so proud to have brought this character to life. It really made me feel closer to the book and closer to Annie in general, because I think we can all relate to having something happen that you're just not prepared for, and then like it taking you a while to process and deal with it. And I think she's like a really good testament to like perseverance and resilience. So I'm really, really proud of that cosplay. I have another couple other fun cosplays planned, but I haven't started working on them yet. I'm glad I could share this. If you're a cosplayer, do you have any tips for me? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. I'll see you next Tuesday.